Welcome into your SummerSlam 2014 review. Woo!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. We are the champions, my friends. And he'll just keep on suplexing till the end. Oh my gosh. Yeah! That's what I have to say about this pay-per-view right now. Oh, let me get the business out of the way at the beginning. Head over to blitzsportsnetwork.com, join the VIP team. There's over 500 VIP videos on there talking wrestling. So if you're not on there, you are truly missing out. So take heed to what I'm telling you here, man. I think you guys would really like blitzsportsnetwork.com. Come on over and join it. And that's all I have to say about that. So, just got done sitting on my couch, and usually we go in order of how things happened on a pay-per-view. But just got done watching Brock Lesnar squash John Cena for 20 minutes. Yeah! How's little John do it? Yeah! Oh my gosh. This is what we've been asking for so long. Oh, it doesn't matter what they do, these guys would hate. Oh, really? They just gave us what we wanted. This was a victory for guys like us. We just got to see Brock Lesnar absolutely destroy John Cena. And I mean clean. Fucked him up. Fuck it. He killed him. He killed him. By God, he killed him. I mean, it was awesome.
Good God Almighty, he's dead. Oh my God.
Yes. Is anyone on the panel upset about what went down tonight?
I don't think
God.
he beat him down bad enough.
Oh, Calvin. We've been waiting for this. Oh, man.
Flaming table.
Yeah, that's the only thing we were
Didn't need flaming tables. You had Brock Lesnar, man.
Oh, dude.
Oh my gosh. All week, I can't wait to hear you rant on, and who would have known? I might have just come on here and been like, I don't really want to talk about it. I'm sick and tired of this shit. And I'm thinking, why would you want to see the same old shit just for the sake of a rant? When we could get what we want from them for once, which would be Brock Lesnar destroying Cena, and the look on the people's faces in the crowd.
Priceless.
For the last decade, they've been so accustomed to John Cena kicking out at 2. He powers out of that STF, Brock Lesnar, F5s his ass. Cena takes the 3 count, and people in the crowd are like, oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. Cena's supposed to kick out. No, he wasn't. Not this time. Brock Lesnar beat his ass. Kayfabe. Holy fuck. Oh, man. Yeah. Woo. Couldn't be happier. Woo. Couldn't be happier. I'm going to go through the details of the match a little bit later in the review. But... I mean, it was like a glorious dream come true. That's what it was. I have played the WWE wrestling games where I pick Brock Lesnar and I take John Cena in the Hell in a Cell and completely destroy him. It looked like a video game mode. My gosh. I mean, we couldn't ask for more. It couldn't have been better. I couldn't be happier. We're going to go through the whole pay-per-view here in a minute, but I will tell you right up front, I am one happy motherfucker right now. Holy shit.
I think you're speaking for all of us.
Too hyped not to talk about that shit first, man.
Oh, dude. We all came into the review off the air, the hangout, and everybody's pumped. So let's find out. Shotty, your first thoughts before we go through the pay-per-view. Shit. What did we just see?
I was pumped, man. You know, really, you know, really got nervous a few times, you know, especially when he put the STF on. A lot of my friends were tuning out, like, all right, well, that's it, it's over. And then he powered out and hit him with the F5. Fantastic, man. I can't tell you how happy I am. You know, it's funny, past 2-3 days, just been watching a lot of Lesnar matches, you know, because I appreciate the guy, you know, WWE and UFC. And even his wrestling days, I mean, just see an incredible athlete like that go over, just really happy. And to see Cena get his ass kicked the way he did, that's what I wanted, and I give him a lot of credit for doing that. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Grits, it happened.
Now, this was the outcome that I predicted. This was not the method that I would have ever imagined to be used to deliver this outcome. One word comes to mind, and I hope no one takes offense to this, but rape. I mean, totally, utterly, and completely butt-fucked from bell to bell, man. That's what happened to the undercover cop. And it's so weird, the build-up to this match. And because, you know, with Fuckboy, it's always the same shit. I'm going to come into SummerSlam, and I'm going to do my best. And this guy wrestles once every 3 months, but I'm here. You know, some of you hate me, some of you love me, but I'm here.
And I show up on time.
I'm going to wear Hulk Hogan's colors.
And you're going to get beat down.
You know what I'm saying? And see, that's the thing. So whenever it's working up to, I think probably the most lively program he had was with The Rock during their WrestleMania feuds. But it's always the same shit with Fuckboy. So you can't ever call it, because his matches are always, whether it's a big match or it's just him against whoever, or somebody from the mid-card, or Bray Wyatt, or somebody like The Rock. Well, not The Rock, but somebody like Brock. He always builds up to it the same way. So I couldn't, you know, I knew Brock was going to go over, but I just couldn't see how it was going to go down. You know what I'm saying? I thought it would have been more of an exchange. I thought it would have been more of a battle for Cena. I thought it would have been some type of Heyman interference, or somehow, you know, Brock not winning clean. But this, I mean, holy shit. It was rape. It was being butt fucked from door to door, no lubrication, blood, urine, vomit. No, it was just shit and blood. That's all it was. That was left. Gaping wounds, shit and blood. Now, a part of me is still leery because, you know what, like you said, yeah, it's fucking Cena. This motherfucker, let me tell you, Cena is like motherfucking Puff Daddy, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all remember watching G.I. Joe back in the day? Like, he's not the type of villain like Cobra Commander was. Cobra Commander, like, you loved hating Cobra Commander. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck, I don't like this guy. With Cena, it's different. You just hate to hate him because you don't want to deal with him at all. Now, the thing with Cena that worries me is he's like Puff Daddy. You know what I'm saying? And I nicknamed him Poof Daddy. Because right when you think you're finally rid of this motherfucker, poof, he's back like magic. That's the thing with Cena. So, you know what I'm saying? You never know how they're going to play it. Are they ushering in a new era? I'm not sure. Are they trying to go in a new direction with the network, you know, trying to gain steam or whatever have you? I'm not sure. But this was a statement, man. How do you have a fucking main event with your 15-time dick breath cock blowing champion being squashed? Don't you understand? I mean, statement, y'all. Understand this. This is a fucking statement. But it's an ellipsis at the end. It's 3 dots. It's not an exclamation mark. It's I'll hesitate to even say a question mark. It's not a period neither. It is a statement though, but it's an open-ended statement. That's the only thing that has me leery. But relish in this moment, man, because I can't remember the main event of one of the big 4 pay-per-views being orchestrated in this fashion. This was a pillaging, all right? This was a pummeling. I mean, like you said, it was like a video game, Bruce, and like a motherfucker was just spamming the suplex. You know what I'm saying? Like, they was putting in the same button input to spam that move over and over and over and over again, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Muggsy Sam, homegirl Karen. She said it looked like Brock suplexed that motherfucker for every one of his title reigns. You know, she tweeted that shit out, and I found that funny because, I mean, there were a lot of statements being made in this match. Bruce, maybe you could delve into it more because something was being said. I think somebody else also noticed how, you know, Brock was kind of like in the lead of the match, like as far as directing it, and when it comes to working it, like telling the ref, all right, we're going to do this submission over here, whatever have you. Like, this, I mean, was this part of the stipulation for Brock coming back into this company or whatever? Was it all, everything was culminating up to this? And, you know, of course, Preparation H, Nipple H had to get his couple wins off of Brock or whatever have you. You know, that might have been part of the deal with him coming back or whatever. All right, you're going to get yours, Brock, but let me get mine off you so I could build a little steam or whatever. But there's something behind this because this was absolutely a motherfucking statement. And it ain't so much about me celebrating Bruce. It's more like an exhale. Like you said, no, man, it's gotten to the point where motherfuckers get tired of ranting about the same shit about this fuckboy, man.
Yeah.
Fucking, it gets to, I'm tired of hating on him. That's what I mean. It's not like we're Cobra Commander or Megatron. You know what I'm saying? Like, you love to hate those motherfuckers. I don't love hating Cena, man. Because it's futile. You know what I'm saying? You get tired of that shit. I don't want to get up here and talk about how frustrated I am. Oh, Cena back at the fucking top. That isn't fun, y'all. That's genuine motherfucking emotion pouring out of us up here because we're tired of that shit. So it's more of an exhale, man. Like the shoulders coming down, the head, you know, the eyes, like I'm bowing like, thank you. Just the wrestling gods, thank you. Macho, Warrior, all y'all up there, man. Whoever, you know what I'm saying, kept this momentum going in this direction. Thank y'all, man. Fuck it. I'm going to enjoy it. I don't know what direction they're going in, but that's in the future. I don't give 2 fucks about that right now. I'm living for the moment. And I just exhaled, man. Fuck you, John Cena. Fuck you, John Cena fans. It's our night.
Calvin, your initial thoughts before we start going through the show.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. Honestly, didn't expect that match to go like that. Especially, you know, Brock going clean. I thought he would dominate, you know, the match. But I thought it was gonna be some bullshit that happened at the end, and you know he wouldn't win clean. But you know he ended up winning clean, dominated the match, and I was like you guys, I was surprised and happy as hell because you know like y'all said, you get sick of Cena because you know he's always shoved down your throat. Everything is catered to Cena, and you know as a hardcore fan and fan that's been watching it for years. You just can't respect a guy who is unathletic, not a good ring work, you know, not a good worker in the ring, and horrible on the mic. I mean, what is that? What likable qualities are there about John Cena?
None.
And to see Lesnar, legit badass, going there and you know do what he's good at, and whooping ass in the ring. Man, it's one of the best things I've seen in a long time when it pertains to wrestling. I'm almost lost for words, honestly. What you know in the future, what they're gonna go with, I honestly don't know. I don't care. I'm in the present. John Cena got his ass kicked. Hopefully, this leads to fizzling him out of the WWE. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are hoping for that. But right now, I'm stuck in the present. Brock Lesnar just whooped your ass, John Cena. Woo!
Woo! Finally, Adam. And then we're going to start going through the pay-per-view.
Not
I
for
can't
a
believe it,
right?
man! Hold on, before Adam goes. To all of you watching this. I mean, honestly, in your wildest dreams, did you think, no matter how much of a badass a lot of us think Brock Lesnar is, in your wildest dreams, did you think Brock Lesnar would get in there, suplex John Cena on his fuckboy bucket head 16 times, knee the fuck out of him the whole match, basically no sell the AA, no sell the STF, and beast on him like that? I mean, the moment that Lesnar hit the ring, did you see the look on his face? Something was different tonight. And we saw what it was. Adam.
Not bad for a punk bitch, huh?
Yes.
Oh, man. Watching that, like, the look in Lesnar's eyes, I think he was had that quote from Piper's They Live. I'm here to kick ass and chew bubble gum. I'm all out bubble gum. And he whooped his ass. My God. Yes. I was sitting here doing yes chants. I'm not even going to lie. Oh, man. What a breath of fresh air going forward. I mean, we got two MMA fighters as champions in mainstream right now. I'm loving it.
Well, that's true. Here's the fact. When it was done, I was sitting there staring at the TV, and I said to myself, I'm at a loss for words. I mean, it's incumbent upon us. We do reviews. People come here and they come to the website to hear us talk about wrestling. I'm like, I don't know what to say other than fuck yeah.
We deserve this moment. We deserve it.
Oh my gosh, I wanted to savor the moment, you know?
Hashtag thank you Lesnar.
Yeah, hashtag thank you WWE. Because they booked it that way.
Right.
And they deserve a lot of credit. So let's start going through the review, and we'll go through the match in more detail a little bit later in the show. It's hard to talk about these other matches knowing you just want to get to the part where Lesnar kicked Cena's fucking ass, you know? But, so they had a pre-show kickoff match, and it was Antonio Cesaro against RVD. Enjoyed the match. I thought it was a really good pre-show match, especially considering RVD's age. My favorite moves of the match were RVD's Rolling Thunder on the floor. Nice little change up there. Cesaro's Rolling Thunder into a stomp. That's right, Cesaro. Did anyone else see RVD laughing? And he was trying to hide it behind his
corpse. Don't tell me he corpse.
He started laughing like, what are you doing? RVD taking the uppercut after coming off the top rope, trying to sell the notion that he was in the 5-star frog splash position. That was cool. Let's name a few moves from the match. Ultimately, it was a pretty crisp and athletic match. You can't go wrong with that. That's why it's called professional wrestling. RVD gets the rare win with a 5-star frog splash that he hit about three-quarters of the way across the ring. Right now, it's definitely a demotion of Cesaro.
What did he do?
I don't think he did anything. I just don't think they would have pushed him at the same time as Reigns.
3 big losses in a row now.
Yeah.
But I honestly think that they're just waiting with him.
But you don't have to do this. There's fodder. There's so much fodder in this company that you could feed to him.
There is, yeah. I agree. But there's also a very good chance that Cesaro would get over much more than a Reigns with a strong babyface push.
Great chance. You're right.
So, but that all being said, big picture aside, Cesaro RVD put on a good match. Nice way to start the show. Me being an RVD fan, nice to see him get a win.
So wait a minute, Bruce. Does this mean I can't call him what I want to call him? Your man RVD?
Job Van Dam? Yeah, you can't call him Job Van Dam.
Job Van Dam.
Yeah, he got a win tonight.
Come on, Rich, the disrespect. Come on, man.
I ain't doing it
He
to
has
him.
been jumping.
Yeah, I know. It brings me to tears to watch that, man. I can't watch him wrestle, man.
That's how you know they doing something with Cesaro when he loses to John Van Dam.
Yeah. It's like, well, yeah, not going too well for you right now, Cesaro. Yeah, maybe in the future.
The fucking Cena got raped.
Oh man. Yeah.
Should have been on the main card, not on the kickoff show. To be honest.
Yeah. So next we got a Hulk Hogan promo. Well, you know, nice to see Hogan come out. You know, he's been a part of memorable SummerSlam matches. This is the main portion of the pay-per-view starting. Hogan basically sets the stage for the show. He talked about SummerSlam being a stage where mortals can become immortal. Superstars can etch their name in history, to paraphrase. All good at this point. I'm like, all right, Hogan is setting the stage as an ambassador, and then he proceeds to plug the network on the network. Why?
Motherfucker.
It doesn't make any sense, you know, but I don't know. You know, there was network overkill. One guy said they plugged it 23 times, and it's like, wait a minute. Most of the people watching this show should be watching it on the network already. You know, I don't think you have to sell it to them, but I have no problem with them plugging the network. None. It's the way they plug the network. It's like, but this is supposed to be a Hulk Hogan promo. I think people are going to look back on promos like this in 5 years and go, what the fuck? You know? Honestly. It just...
They're killing the art of the promo right now by using it to plug this product. And it's, you know, promo is a promotion. Promoting the fight, promoting the pay-per-view. And now it's just a fucking ad. So be conscious of this, y'all. Be conscious of the fashion the WWE is doing this shit with the network. They've already changed and warped what wrestling is and turned it into sports entertainment. So I mean, I'm not surprised. And this is one of the finer arts of this business, the promo. And look what the fuck I'm disgusted. Go ahead.
All I heard was, "Get the network, brother." And when you're done, get the network, brother. Well, I'm already on the network, brother.
Yeah, $9.99. And then people in Canada are like, stop false advertising. It's $11.99.
It's 12 somewhere, other places too.
Yeah.
I just don't. I mean, like, they promote the shit during Raw. Why the hell did they not promote it during the 9 million fucking commercials they show?
That's a great point. You know, I mean, they could even run commercials. I think they would be better served with commercials rather than wrestlers plugging it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because then you could kind of show what the network offers and whatnot. So, whatever. Let's just move on. He's Hulk Hogan. You know, in the 80s, he was the most popular wrestler of all time. So next, Miz comes out. They go with the Intercontinental Championship match first. I thought they may go with Rollins Ambrose, just because, you know, you want to open the show with a bang. Well, they did, and we'll get to that in a minute. But Miz comes out, references movies from this year, trolls the fans about being a movie star, and of course makes reference to his moneymaker. He claims he's going to turn Ziggler from a bright star into a failure. In other words, he's going to make him the WWE's version of the Lakers. Oh, zing. Well played, Miz. Well played. And I couldn't help but notice that the people at Staples didn't give him much of a reaction. They were just kind of like, yeah, dude, don't remind us, you know. So, yeah. We get the Miz against Dolph Ziggler, WWE Intercontinental Championship match. Decent match, but did anyone else, comment section, give us some feedback here. People on Twitter, whatever, guys on the panel. Did anyone else think it was weird when Ziggler hit the Famouser and Miz just popped up and hit the skull-crushing finale. What was that? Did that not look weird? I hear Adam.
Yeah, that totally looked weird. I thought they botched it, to be honest.
On the replay, I saw that Ziggler tried to make sense out of it with his body language, where he hit the Famouser, then he started selling his knee. And I was like, it still doesn't look right. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. But no matter what, we got the outcome we wanted. This was a theme of a good portion of SummerSlam. We got the outcome that we wanted, a lot of us. And that was Ziggler going over with the zigzag finisher after he ducked a running kick from The Miz. For the record, The Miz did get "You Can't Wrestle" chance. The roof came off Staples Center when the ref counted to 3. Dolph Ziggler, in my opinion, I'm sure there's certain people that disagree, and you always have differing opinions on wrestling, but in my opinion, brings so much more credibility to the Intercontinental Championship than The Miz as a wrestler. So I'm definitely happy with the outcome. I mean, there's no doubt that Ziggs has paid his dues tenfold and deserves that IC strap. To me, he just screams Intercontinental Champion. So
I predicted that is him winning.
You did, Calvin, you did. Where a lot of us were like, yeah, but it's Ziggler. They get our hopes up with him, and they don't follow through. And there are betting websites for wrestling, and I checked out the odds. He was a huge underdog coming into the match. And these betting websites base their odds on, educated guesses on the way the storylines are going and things of that nature. And Calvin, you were right. You said, no, I think Ziggler's going to be Intercontinental Champion, so you called it. Guys, thoughts on Ziggler, new Intercontinental Champion?
The guy got what he deserved. But I do want to say something, and this is a little bit slightly unrelated, but during this match, I got a lot of connection problems. I'm hooked right into my modem using a PS3, and I got a lot of connection problems. I don't know if anybody else out there in the comments or anything, or anybody else got that, but I sure did, and it definitely interrupted the match to me a lot. But other than that, Ziggler deserves that belt. This guy should be a world champion. He deserves much more, but, as far as bringing credibility to the Intercontinental belt, he definitely does it. And in my opinion, he does it more than even a Sheamus would do. So the IC title is on the right guy, 100%. And I'm happy they made the right choice on this one, giving him the belt. And not the only right choice they made, but this definitely was good, and the match was it was all right. It was all right. Not the best match, but I liked it. Like I said, the outcome is what we wanted, so we got it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I never liked The Miz, man. I mean, he even before he came to wrestling, he was on that Real World show, annoying. Then
boy.
Yeah, then he ended up coming to wrestling, and then just lately he talking about the Marine. Who the hell is watching that movie? I mean, this dude's promoting shitty movies. Not a good wrestler. I mean, I think Dolph Ziggler.
What the hell was he wearing tonight?
I don't know, man. I think Dolph Ziggler is underrated, and the WWE always screwed him over, and they never put a strap on him. And it's good.
Well, they put the World Heavyweight Championship on him and took it right off, but yeah.
Yeah. But so they always screwed him over. So as I predicted, he won, and it's one of the many good things that happened tonight.
Listen, y'all know what my rhythm been for a minute. Cesaro, Sandow, and Ziggler. As far as to me, the fucking Famouser has always been a botched move. I never liked the shit when badass Billy Gunn did it. I wasn't fucking with it or nothing like that. The zigzag, to me, I don't like it. It's something about it. It's not a crisp move. It doesn't look impactful. It doesn't have the right kind of snap to it. Like you said, a super kick would be great for him. Something along those lines. He has a look for that. But fuckboy Pawn Michaels. There's so many fuckboys in the lineage of this company. A lineage of fuckboys, and for whatever reason, Dolph can't have it. The Miz, It's so funny, man. You know, he got this whole I'm into show business shit going on, and with the money maker. Well, there's certain kind of movies they make out in Hollywood where your face gets a money shot. You know what I mean? But I'm just gonna leave it at that. You know, maybe Miz is into some man-on-man on-film action. Who knows? You know, that's what he uses his money maker for, to catch money shots. Because nobody gives a fuck about it, man. Just like Cal hit, you on here promoting shitty fucking movies. Fuck out of here. Dolph, you deserve more than this Intercontinental strap. That belt doesn't mean what it used to. That's unfortunate. You were world champion. Me, I always thought you should have the WWE belt for the mainstream guy, for the not necessarily best wrestler, but the face of the company who's gonna bring in that revenue, who's gonna be the ambassador for your company and all that, and then have the world heavyweight championship be for your best worker, be for the guy who can wrestle the best, you know what I'm saying, and put on the best matches above all else. In a way, that kind of puts the Intercontinental strap and the U.S. strap in limbo, because what are you going to use them for? You know, that's why things like maybe the Cruiserweight belt was served purpose. You know, when there was two separate brands, you know, you can do a lot of things with the belts, but with everything being all in one clump, shit gets lost in the wayside. And I kind of feel like this is still Dolph being lost by the wayside, man. Even though he got this strap, like you said, the place popped. Remember when he took that shit off of Alberto Del Rio? How they really, like, that, they went fucking crazy. Even though that was the night after Mania Raw or whatever, they still went crazy for him. And I don't think he'll you know, nothing can ever replace that feeling for him other than him winning the WWE championship. But we know that's not going to happen. But I'm happy for Dolph, but at the same time, it's almost like a consolation prize. You know what I'm saying? At this point of the game. And everyone's hot on Ambrose and Rollins and Reigns and all that. There's a couple of guys, man, who've been working their ass off in this company for the last few years. And I understand guys like Ambrose and Rollins, they've been doing in the indies and all that. That's fine. I'm not going to, you know, discredit them for that. But Dolph has been in this fucking company working his ass off for years. He was a fucking cheerleader, you know what I'm saying, with the Spirit Squad and all that shit. He's paid his dues, man. He deserves to be at a different point in his career. He deserves to be somewhere else in the cards, somewhere else in this company. And will he bring back prestige to this belt, Bruce? I think this belt is just, they're fucked. This belt and the U.S. belt, they're fucked, Bruce. They can't achieve that prestige that they had. It just can't. It would take a year's worth of someone having a good reign with it and the way they booked matches around it and whatever have you. Can Dolph do that right now? I'm not saying that he can't. At this point in his career, he shouldn't have to. But, again, it's an exhale. He didn't have to job out to this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And none of that type of shit. So like you said, it was a night of us getting what we wanted. I'm a Ziggler. I fucks with Zig. You know what I'm saying? So, again, it's a reason to exhale. I just hope I don't have to start holding my breath again too soon.
A lot of people in the comment section, Shoddy, are saying they were having connection problems too with the network.
I mean, it kept freezing, and then it would rewind, and it'd freezing and rewind. It happened a lot. And it's been happening since, like, WrestleMania. So if you're better than Netflix, then I suggest you fix it.
Yeah.
$9.99.
Yeah, well, I mean...
They said they're better than Netflix.
Yeah, that's what they said, yeah. That's what they implied. But, I don't know. For me, it did it at the beginning. And what I do is I just hook my laptop up to the TV. And HDMI. And at the very beginning of the pay-per-view, it froze. And then what I did is I hit the 10-second rewind a couple times. Because it did it to me last pay-per-view. And if I watched like 20, 30 seconds behind the actual live feed, it worked fine. But just trying to watch it live, it kept freezing, and I've got a super fast internet connection. So, and it was hardwired. So, I don't know.
I mean, the worst instance of this happening was WrestleMania. Right when Brock Lesnar hit the F5, it rewind like 30 seconds back, and I was like, wait, who won? So,
Oh wow!
I swear to God that happened. Yeah.
$9.99.
$9.99.
Get what you paid for.
And I
Not really.
use it at WrestleMania because, hey, they just got, it was their first pay-per-view, whatever. But at this point in the game, they should be fixing this up. So, just saying.
Wow, I'm surprised so many people are saying that they were having the problems. You would think they'd have that ironed out by now. For me, I was able to regulate it by doing what I said, but okay, moving on. Next match. Or no, this was where we saw Brie Bella backstage. She ran down a list of different things Stephanie's done to her and Daniel Bryan. She did brush off the cheating storyline, which was ridiculous anyways, and said taking Stephanie down is what's best for business. Yada, yada, yada. So next we get Paige against AJ Lee. WWE Divas Championship match. I told you all in the preview that I had high hopes for this match. And sure enough, this match was better than the first match. You remember that first match they had was a lot of botches. First real match that they had. A lot of botches in the match. My favorite moves of the match were Paige's face buster to AJ on the barricade, AJ's clothesline off the top rope to Paige on the floor. Funny, just saw Taryn Terrell do that the other night. But AJ Lee's transition out of a Paige turner into the Black Widow. That was a really nice counter. Paige's transition from the Black Widow into a package DDT, and she looked like she absolutely destroyed AJ Lee on that DDT. I mean, that was a sick finish. So you've got a new Divas champion. So yes, 2 matches in a row, 2 new champions to start the show. Paige, your new Divas champion, and I thought it was a real good match, given the time that they were allotted. I think if you gave them more time, it would have been even better. Obviously, they decided to give that time to a McMahon later in the show, and we'll get to that in a little bit, because I think
they decided to give that time to their fucking reality TV show. I'm fucking sick of this shit, bro.
Exactly.
Sick of this shit, man. These 2 girls bust they fucking ass. You know what I'm saying? They went out there and put on fucking real wrestling for motherfuckers, and they get a little bit of shine. You know what I'm saying? But what takes precedent? The fucking Total Divas bullshit with a fucking McMahon, just like you said. Y'all motherfuckers did this shit. Y'all soap opera loving motherfuckers. That's why they run with this shit nowadays, and you don't get fucking wrestling.
It's not fair. It's just not fair how long they let these divas go. Don't get me wrong. They delivered in the time they were given. But it's just not fair, how long this match should have been. If it had been a longer match, I think all of us would have been talking about it much more. But I mean, it's just like the Divas division. It's just hard to take it seriously when you give these women that amount of time to wrestle. And then the wins and losses just happen. Just like, they don't seem to matter. I mean, it's just, that's a big problem they have. And, they're going in the right direction with these 2 divas. They're going in the right direction by having them in this feud. But you got to give them time to work. Hopefully after this, they take them a little bit more seriously. I mean, if anything, this whole Stephanie McMahon versus Brie Bella match should have been in the pre-show. And you should have.
It means more than the women's. It means more than the Divas Championship. Look how fucking twisted. This is what I was saying, like with the Intercontinental strap. These belts have no fucking meaning, man. They have no fucking meaning. It's because of the way they book shit in this fucking company. The fucking Divas Championship was a fucking piss break. That's what they try to turn it into. And Bruce, you hit the nail on the head as usual. That knockouts match put pressure on these girls. And I don't think they looked at it so much as pressure, but they were like, yo, let's step up to the plate. They gonna give us a little minute to do what we gotta do, so let's do what we can do. I don't like homegirl copying off of Taryn Terrell. Taryn Terrell, I'll suck her butt cheeks right off her body. You know what I'm saying? But on some real shit, I don't like the biting shit by AJ, but it is what it is. At least that, we know that y'all watching. But still, Bruce, it's not fucking right, man. It's not fucking right. That's why it's a Divas Championship, and it wasn't. I don't want to get upset. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, man. It's unfortunate what they do with the Divas. Like, how often do we talk about a solid Divas match in the WWE? How often do we even give them compliments about a Diva match? And they care more about the whole Stephanie McMahon drama thing than that actual wrestling match. I mean, this was supposed to be wrestling, and they only care about entertainment. I mean, if I want to watch Young and the Restless, I go watch the fucking Young and the Restless. It's as simple as that. I don't want to see that shit in a wrestling show.
Well, I of course I unequivocally agree with you, but I think right now they've got two. I don't think we've seen the end of this AJ Lee and Paige feud by any means. And
we haven't, Bruce, but we haven't seen the end of the fucking McMahon Bella saga.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. You mean
This is
China?
the biggest problem. Go ahead, Bruce.
You mean China Junior? Go ahead, man.
This is my biggest problem with the fucking company. It's the fucking storylines over wrestling, which is fucking ass backwards than the way it should be. You had the two best wrestling, better. I want to say this. Wrestling-based matches at the beginning of the show with Ziggler and Miz, even though it wasn't that good, to a certain point, it was good because of Ziggler. He had the Divas go out there and do what they do. You put the better matches, more technical matches in front of the show, then do the storylines at the end, which is bullshit. I agree. I totally agree with Calvin. If I want to go watch, soaps or Young and Restless, I can go watch that instead of this shit. And to be honest, the women they have on there is fucking a lot higher than the Divas.
All right, moving on. Next, we get a quick Alana promo. She tells the fans to shut up. Says that they dedicate this match to the world's greatest reality star and a true hero, Vladimir Putin. She says Hollywood represents everything that is wrong with America. It is a golden fantasy land where you get to play heroes and there's always a happy ending. She says Rusev represents the cold, harsh fist of reality. She says in reality, your heroes are failing cowards. And she says, there is no happy ending for your USA. I love the way she said that. Dude, best villain in wrestling right now. I mean, she's so entertaining. When do you ever hear Lana pull a Steiner line? Like, all of her promos are flawless.
So is her body.
Okay, yes. But I think just because she's a lady, she doesn't get the credit that she deserves as being one of the top heels in wrestling, if not the best right now. I mean, who draws more heat than Lana? Yeah, it's cheap heat, but, she's good at what she does. So we get Rusev against Jack Swagger. This is supposed to be a flag match. Was anyone else expecting the flags to be hung above the corners?
Yep.
I thought it was a flag match. Minor complaint here? Well, somewhat minor. Why weren't the flags hung above the corners? Like a traditional flag match where you need to climb the turnbuckles and retrieve your flag to win. I was disappointed with that because I really wasn't looking forward to the wrestling in this match. But anyways, 5 soldiers came out and presented the colors of the United States as Jack Swagger came out with Zeb Coulter, and I was like,
I thought that might give away the ending. I'm like, could
Same
they?
here. But then I said maybe they're doing that to pull the wool over our eyes, knowing that we'll read into that, a lot of people. Or they just did it to do it. Whatever. But when it pertains to good in-ring wrestling, I did not see it in this match, okay? There was some good storytelling, of course, with the obligatory USA-Russia thing. It's basically a bells and whistles match, is I guess what you could call it, for the sake of not using an industry term. You also had each guy selling an injury, so that added a certain form of psychology to the match, which could also help distract you from the lack of good wrestling. Ultimately, Rusev went over with the first heel finish of the show. Each guy had their finishers on each other. They teased some finishes, and ultimately Rusev hit a reverse kick on Swagger, which for the record he missed by a mile. And then he put the Accolade Camel Clutch on him and got the win. After the match, Rusev kicked Zeb Coulter, so the WWE continues on the super, villain push with Rusev, which I think ultimately, where do super villains usually end up? On the doorstep of John Cena. So, still could be going that direction. Maybe they feed him to Reigns. I don't know. Maybe they feed... No, they're not going to feed him to Ambrose. But after the match, the Russian national anthem played. They had Lana and Rusev standing in the ring. Rusev's got the Russian flag, and then a big Russian flag dropped behind them. Yeah, I really wasn't into this one, folks. You may have been, but to me it's like it's a cheap feud. USA, Russia, there's tensions between the two countries right now. If it's not going to lead to good wrestling, I didn't have to hate Canada to like the Hart Foundation's feud with DX or anyone else, or Bret Hart's match with the Patriot. I didn't have to hate Canada. It was just Bret Hart's good wrestler, Hart Foundation, good wrestlers, going up against other talented wrestlers. I'm down. It was an added bonus. To me, in my opinion, my humble opinion, you may disagree, but in my humble opinion, a USA versus Russia feud does not make the match. And I really didn't enjoy the wrestling in this match. I just really wasn't into it. I thought Lana was the best part of the segment. Didn't take away from the pay-per-view as a whole for me because I had pretty low expectations for this match anyway, personally. So it's not a major gripe. It's just that, the fans there seemed like they were into it. And when Rusev won, you could hear the air come out of the building. So it worked. So it obviously worked. You know what I mean? But guys, I don't know. Were you into this match? I wasn't feeling it.
5-star match. Match of the night. Best match I've seen in the past few years, man. Just fantastic. Just flawless execution from both sides, man. What a match. Oh, yeah. And in case you couldn't tell, I was being sarcastic. All I see here is Cena's next victim working his way up the ladder. That's all I see here. I'll tell you why maybe someone like a Bruce or me or most people on this out there didn't like the match. Because both these guys suck. Let's just be real. In my opinion, at least. I think both these guys suck. I think they bring nothing to the table. I think somebody like a Rusev is just a fat bum. Swagger beats Cesaro just so he can get his ass kicked by Rusev. Neither one of these guys are talented, in my opinion. And honestly, they do suck. And if you can make a case, for any of these guys to be talented wrestlers, go right on ahead. In my opinion, if I'm running the show, I'm not booking any one of these guys on the main card. And to be honest, I probably wouldn't book them at all. But, yeah, I mean, I had low expectations, and these guys delivered. They definitely delivered. So, all in all, this is the one match that I could care less about.
Yeah.
And I think most of us could care less about.
I definitely didn't give a damn about it. Now, Shawty, that match you probably were talking about earlier was you dreaming a good match while you were sleeping through this one. So, both these guys are bad wrestlers. I mean, people care more about, the feud, the America versus Russia thing and Lana than the actual match, honestly. I mean, these guys went in there and looked bad. I mean, and so who gives a damn? And these guys, they met the low expectations they were given.
Swagger sucks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, these two guys shouldn't even be relevant. Only reason they are is because one's got Lana and the other's got Dutch Mantel, talking for him. You take those two away, this match don't mean shit. This probably would have been the main, pre-show match. So, yeah, I didn't care about the match. I thought it was boring as hell. So,
it wasn't even a flag match.
I totally agree on that. The only thing I give these two credit for is selling the injury. Keeping selling the injury all through the match. That's
It wasn't even a flag match.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't even a flag match. Period. All right, so next, was this one a treat? Dean Ambrose against Seth Rollins. I think most of us were disappointed with the Lumberjack stipulation. Most of us.
I know I was.
Oh my gosh, I was like, Lumberjack match, come on, those are usually boring. You know? Ambrose and Seth Rollins went out there tonight and showed you that they can even make a Lumberjack match extremely entertaining. Extremely entertaining. The Lumberjacks were Bo Dallas, RVD, Sin Cara, Kofi Kingston, Damian Sandow, Fandango, Stardust, Goldust, Eric Rowan, Luke Harper, Heath Slater, Titus O'Neil, Cesaro, the Usos, Curtis Axel, Ryback, Biggie Langston, and R-Truth. By my count, that's who I saw ringside. My favorite moments of this match, okay? Dean Ambrose attacking the Lumberjacks. Cool. All right? Dean Ambrose suplexing Seth Rollins out of the ring and onto the Lumberjacks. Dean Ambrose's suicide dive onto the Lumberjacks. The fighting in the crowd was a nice surprise. When's the last time you've really seen that in a Lumberjack match? And when Seth Rollins was teasing that powerbomb from above an entryway, I was like, no. You know what I mean? But it was just a tease. Dean Ambrose's dive off the top rope to Seth Rollins, who was on top of, all of the Lumberjacks are carrying Seth Rollins back to the ring as he's quote-unquote trying to leave. And Dean Ambrose just jumps up on the top turnbuckle and dives on all of them. That was a cool spot. Ambrose's rebound clothesline was especially sick in this match, and it took the roof off the place. Because Seth Rollins sold that like a champ with the backflip bump. Dean Ambrose's curb stomp on Seth Rollins, you heard me right. I'm not saying that backwards. Dean Ambrose with the curb stomp on Seth Rollins. The brawl that broke out when Kane hit Goldust because Kane came down there to interfere, protect his boy. Goldust gets in Kane's face. Next thing you know, all the Lumberjacks are just fighting with each other. And all of that was fantastic. Very, very entertaining. I can't even express in words how much it exceeded my expectations for a Lumberjack match. Okay? But Seth Rollins, so Dean Ambrose is preoccupied with getting the Wyatts out of the ring. So he's in the middle of getting Eric Rowan and Luke Harper out of the ring. He turns around. The referee has his back to Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins lays in a briefcase shot to the head, which, it wasn't some stiff shot, but... and when he pinned Ambrose, after hitting him with the briefcase, the air came out of the building. And yes, I think a lot of us wanted to see Ambrose win. Ambrose is that dude right now in the WWE. But sometimes hearing the air go out of the building like that, for me, is entertaining. And it tells me they're doing something right. And obviously, entertaining match, but I think eventually the WWE has to give Ambrose a damn win over Rollins. I mean, that pretty much goes without saying. But in all reality, am I the only one that's really enjoying Ambrose's eclectic way of chasing Seth Rollins? So, in a weird way, I'm not really going to complain about the finish because I'm really enjoying the chase, and I almost don't want the chase to end. I think that this is going to go down as the feud of the year. I do.
I agree with that.
And just that video package that they showed before the match with all of these moments that have transpired in this feud speaks for itself. So I'm really enjoying the chase, and that's my position on it. I'm not going to go batshit crazy over Ambrose not winning because I know that this is only going to build up more steam behind his character. And dare I say that with Dean Ambrose, they could end up with another Daniel Bryan situation with this guy. Obviously, Daniel Bryan, with the yes chance, definitely helped because that became such a phenomenon. But I think the outcry for Dean Ambrose to get a top roster spot, which he's definitely extremely relevant right now, which is good. But I think him staying in chase mode will continue to build up that anxiety behind his character and could actually be better for him in the long run. Now that's me thinking optimistically. Okay? That's just being optimistic. It may not work out that way. Because in the same token, the fear is that they don't use this guy to his full capacity and drop the ball on him like they have a lot of other people we're entertained by. But all of that being said, what an entertaining match. I mean, for a Lumberjack match, they pulled out all the stops, and I really enjoyed it. It was good. Another good match. Whoever wants to talk about it, go ahead, shoot away.
Or I'll tell you what, just like a lot of people I know, personally know, I didn't like the stipulation going in. I'll be honest. I was like, goddamn, here we go, Lumberjack match. But then, I also figured, if anybody's going to deliver in a Lumberjack match, it's going to be these two. These two, you can put them in almost any type of matchup, and they're going to perform. And they're going to perform well. I think, I'm going to be a little picky, because look, I did enjoy the match a lot. I thought it was fantastic. A lot of big spots. I thought it was great. But I'm going to go ahead and say that I think this match should have happened in the last pay-per-view. And in this pay-per-view, we should have got the one-on-one. Now, again, that's me being a little picky, but I'm just saying. Other than that, despite it all, these guys, they found a way to deliver a solid match. Despite it being a Lumberjack match, these guys, they got more than a passing grade. You could argue this was a match of the night. I thought it was. And I enjoyed it a lot. But, and this feud, no question about it, this is the feud of the year. No question about it. But, unless somebody else can prove otherwise. But I'd love to see these guys in another match. I just want to see these guys go one-on-one. I'll be honest. That's what I really want. I know the one-on-one in a no DQ match. That's what I like to see. And flaming tables. And chair shots to the head.
Hell in a Cell.
Right. And a lot of fire. whatever the case may be. I know whatever you give these guys whatever and they'll perform. So I'm enjoying this feud a lot, and I hope we get more matches from these two because I know I'm enjoying it.
It's high quality, dude. I mean, it is high quality. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'll give my 2 cents on it. As y'all said, the Lumberjack, having the whole Lumberjack match, didn't like that. Rather than guys just go, one-on-one. But they did it. It was done really well. You had chaos outside the ring. I mean, as a wrestling fan, you just want to see. You want to see something like that. You want to see something that's entertaining, something that keep you up. Going ahead, I think they really need to do something. They really have to do something like Bruce said it. Hell in a Cell, something like that. Bring back put them in the hardcore match, make them let them use weapons. I don't care. I want to see just them 2 guys in there. I want to see other guys come in. I want to see just them 2 beating the shit out of each other. I mean, that's what we all want to see. I mean, but for what was given, it's hard to do a Lumberjack match right. For the most part, it's usually boring. But you got to give WWE credit for actually doing a good job with the Lumberjack match.
Yeah, coming into this match, I was not looking forward to it. I was looking forward to it, actually, the in-ring working, but at the same time, I had my doubts because it was still a Lumberjack match. But all the spots they hit really helped me enjoy it. And I've never seen these spots in Lumberjack. Usually, like 5-10 minutes into it, the Lumberjacks start getting involved. They start brawling with each other outside. You know, the typical Lumberjack stuff. But how they progressed this match as it went on, I was loving every minute of it, and just all the high spots, suicide dives, suplex, and all that they was doing really helped me enjoy the match. I would much rather seen an actual one-on-one match, but I actually enjoyed this match.
All right, moving on. Get this back up. Okay, so next was Bray Wyatt against Chris Jericho. You know, there were some cool spots in the match. It wasn't a spot fest by any means. You know, like Bray Wyatt's bridge up when Jericho was setting up the Lion Salt. But all in all, for me, this Bray Wyatt-Chris Jericho match was just a solid match. In all reality, Chris Jericho put Bray Wyatt over in a very strong fashion in this match. A very strong fashion. Not as strong as the main event, but a very strong fashion. Bray looked dominant. You know, he looked dominant as fuck in the match. Bray looked really dominant. Bray hit the Sister Abigail on Jericho to the barricade, and then he hit another Sister Abigail on Jericho in the ring for the finish. And, you know, Bray had a good, you know, really good showing psychology-wise. And then, of course, with the way they booked him. You got to give kudos to Jericho for putting Bray over so strong and so clean. You know, Y2J came back and basically repaired some of the damage that hitting the John Cena ceiling did to Bray's character. So, booking-wise, it was a heel win, yes. And they were doing a string of heel wins at this part of the show. The crowd was about a 50-50 split with Jericho and Bray Wyatt, but I thought Jericho did a really nice job making Bray come out of this match looking very strong. I think storyline-wise, it's easier to take Bray a little more seriously again, considering what Jericho has done for him. And that's what Jericho does nowadays. He comes back and he helps guys get over. And don't forget he did it for Punk. He's tried to do it for a bunch of guys. You know, and you know, I thought it was a good match. It's a good match. It wasn't a great match, but it's a good match. And you know, to me, Bray Wyatt, his character is stronger than it was before he started feuding with Jericho. So I don't think this is the end of it. I think they'll have a blow-off match, so to speak, at Night of Champions. We'll see about that, but I don't have much more to add to that. Bray Wyatt looks strong. Jericho did his thing. Put Bray over. Bray's in a better position character-wise now. Period. Fellas.
One thing I gotta say about this match, I wish it was like just a little bit longer. You know, that's the only thing I gotta say about it. It was a good match. For the time it got, I'm not sure how much time it actually got, but I wish it was just, you know, a little bit longer at that.
Way better than the Battlegrounds match.
Oh, absolutely.
And better than the Battlegrounds build as well. Anyone else want to put their 2 cents in on Jericho and Wyatt?
You know, with the last Raw, I liked the promo they put. You know, what they were doing in like an interview.
Sit down, yes.
I actually liked that leading up to SummerSlam. So you know, I thought the match was solid. You know, Jericho's a guy who's there to you know, pick guys over. You know, and to build guys up. And I think, you know, they got what they wanted, what they were trying to do with that match by having Jericho put him over. So I think they did a good job with that. I think it was a decent match as well.
It was. Anyone else? Shoddy? Anybody?
I thought it was a solid match, just like you did. I thought it was, you know, they delivered. You know, wasn't a classic, but it was definitely a passing match that you could watch over and again and enjoy. I give a shout out to probably saying it wrong, Whip Manga. He at Whip Manga because he sent me the link to apparently Jericho's podcast, and in that podcast, apparently Jericho was taking calls, and Bray Wyatt called in, and they went at each other, and it was funny because Jericho was like, "Wow, I think I can't take calls after that. I'm kind of shocked." But you can tell these guys they wanted to deliver a good feud as well as a good match, and I think they did. I absolutely think they did. You know, we talked about a week or two ago about these guys thinking outside the box, and they did. You know, first of all, I liked the way it was built up. I liked the whole sit-down interview we had on Raw. I liked that they actually went out of their way. Jericho went out of his way, and Bray, of trying to do something else, in which he called him in the podcast. That type of stuff, I enjoy that type of stuff. That's the type of stuff I want to see. It wasn't the greatest feud, but it was good. It was good. It does a lot for Bray Wyatt's character. He needed this win badly. See John Cena. So I think at the end of the day, they delivered. The match was solid, and good outcome in the end. Good stuff.
Oh. Okay. Next up, here we go. We gotta get through this one. Brie Bella, Stephanie McMahon. You know, first of all, I know I couldn't have been the only one who thought that Triple H gave Stephanie McMahon one of Chyna's outfits that she left behind at the crib. I mean, straight up. She borrowed that ring gear from Chyna. Okay? Anyways, that aside, it's super, super low expectations for this match. And yeah, the match did have some decent spots, some passable wrestling at times. But overall, it felt like a Kiss the Boss's Daughter's Ass match for me, especially from the announcers. You know, it was just over the top, blowing praise. Oh my gosh, you know, look at, look at this move she just did, blah, blah, blah. I mean, shit, they executed a couple fucking moves, a few. And the announcers all collectively were lining up to fight over being first in line to shove their head up her ass. Aren't we supposed to expect them to be able to put on some good moves? You know? I guess not. I guess it's supposed to be a special thing. But Triple H came out, Nikki followed him, Nikki Bella, and I said, okay, there's going to be no Daniel Bryan now, because here comes the heel turn. That's the first thing I thought. Because I thought that maybe I had a theory that Daniel Bryan postponed his surgery so he could do a run-in at SummerSlam. That was just a theory. I didn't say it was going to happen. Sure enough, Triple H pulls the referee out of the ring. Nikki Bella gets in the ring. We get a tease of the Bellas double-teaming Stephanie. You could see what was coming. Nikki pushes Stephanie out of the way and attacks Brie. Stephanie hits the pedigree on Brie Bella, and Stephanie gets the win. The whole time I'm watching the match, I'm like, yeah, okay, Stephanie's doing some moves. I'm just not into this one, you know. I wanted the match to just end, in all reality. I could see how people were into the match. I could see that Stephanie was definitely exceeding expectations. There's probably a lot of people that thought it was good, and that's fine. I just wasn't into it, personally. Yeah, Stephanie tried hard. You know, she trained hard for the match and worked on her in-ring stuff. But again, shouldn't that be par for the course for someone who's going to get in the ring? You know? But like I said, this was just a Kiss the Boss's Daughter's Ass match for me. And the announcing was so over the top. Like, oh my gosh, can you believe Stephanie? Well, listen to the fans chant, you still got it. She had it? You know? I don't know. It was better than I thought it was going to be.
Still trash.
Wrestling-wise, but I just don't give a shit about this whole thing. I am way more interested in AJ Lee and Paige. You know? So, fellas.
Yeah, when Stephanie came out, the way Jerry, all three commentators was like just in awe, like, oh, look how she's looking. I'm like, wait a minute, is Billy and MG on commentary all of a sudden? You know, it's like, I just caught down like, really? You know, exactly what you said, Bruce, kissing her ass, you know, trying to put her over, which wouldn't be the first time she went over.
Were you into it at all, though? No. No, you didn't?
No.
Okay.
No, I was not into this at all. Yeah, I have nothing to say about this. They'll turn.
Did anyone on the panel get into it? Shotty, did you get into it a little bit?
I got into it, but not in the way you wanted me to get into
it. So you're saying you wanted to get it in, is what you're saying.
Well, that's obvious, but no, not that. It just reminded me of how stupid the storyline was. The whole match, I was like, I felt like doing the ice bucket challenge right there. What a piece of trash, man. I hated that match. It's again, I mean, I did have low expectations. Let's be real. You know, these two girls or what ladies, you know, they're not exactly known for their wrestling ability. He had 2 arm drags, a DDT, a missile drop kick, and a pedigree. You know, great job. You know, I was pretty disappointed. Actually, I don't know why I was disappointed. I think I was disappointed because of the fact that we let this storyline go this far. I mean, this should have been in the pre-show, not in this point in the card. I know I'm not alone when I say that I don't care about this match. I don't care about this storyline. I don't care about the heel turn. I don't care about Stephanie McMahon, Triple H. I don't care about any of this shit. You know, I just want good wrestling. That's not good wrestling. And it's not a good storyline either. So it's a lose-lose situation. It's definitely the piss break match. You know, I know some people disagree, but I could care less. This match sucked, and I have nothing good to say about it.
For me, it didn't take away from the pay-per-view.
No.
Even though I wasn't into the match, it just...
We knew it would suck. We knew it would suck.
Yeah. The Brie Bella... Okay, I find it funny that now people care about the belts. Whereas a year ago, nobody cared. Now people care. All of a sudden, we're supposed to care about Stephanie wrestling. I don't care. Just because she's a McMahon, I don't care.
Total divas.
Yeah, I mean...
fucking divas.
Honestly, Natalya and Charlotte's match on NXT blows this away. Blows this away.
Absolutely.
With Flair and Brett ringside, to me, that was the match I got into. Probably my favorite female match of the year so far. But I don't know. I understand a lot of you are probably into it because, you know, the storyline lends to people being into it, and that's cool. I just wasn't, and as you can tell, you guys in the panel weren't as well.
Somebody should have gone through a table or something, you know, at the very least.
I wish they would have given the amount of time they gave to this match to the Divas Championship match.
Exactly.
And then the length of time they gave the Divas Championship match, give that to this match, and maybe I wouldn't feel as, you know, as grumpy about it.
Exactly.
You know.
Look, is there a place for storylines in wrestling?
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
At the bare minimum.
Yeah,
at the bare minimum. You know, it serves its purpose when it's done right. But it should always be the backdrop to what's going on in the ring. And this company has just fucked that all up. The wrestling is the backdrop to the storyline, the way they have it here. And like you said earlier with the I'm gonna check out that match, Natalya and Charlotte. And then also with the Divas Championship earlier in this same pay-per-view. I just, like you said when you mentioned belts, no, man, all that shit is secondary when it comes to this. And how can you get behind this? You know, this is it's so twisted that one of these women isn't even a female competitor. She isn't even a female competitor in this fucking company, and they're still getting their shine. You know what I'm saying? Moreover than two women fighting for the actual Divas Championship. Like you said, wrestling should be the main thing that's being showcased. The story should be the backdrop. But look at this, for instance. It's wrestling is a backdrop for a story about a fucking story almost. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't even word this shit right the way I'm trying to express it, because it's so fucking twisted, man. That you got one chick, she's a so-called wrestler, and then you know have her little reality TV show. Then you got the board authority head bitch in charge. You know what I'm saying? She's not even a wrestler in this company. She's not a female competitor. What the fuck is this doing on the TV screen? What the fuck?
Grits, I will say this though, in fairness to Stephanie, she did really good for someone who doesn't wrestle. I would give Stephanie a lot of credit there. She definitely put in her, though. She put in her work.
She has it in her. You know what I'm saying? It's something that, you know, especially back in the day, she was far from one of the best female wrestlers in the company or whatever. But and she been in some hell situations. She's taken her bumps. She's been put in some matches. I remember she even fought her dad one time. You know what I'm saying? Like she's competent. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I gotta give her. She's competent. But this should not be. Why is this? This is this fucking company with this soap opera shit that this is being showcased. And the wrestling it was almost third tier when it comes to this right here, because you have the Total Divas reality show, then you got the story, and then you got the wrestling. So, because that's what it's all about. You plug in your network, you plug in your TV show. Who cares about wrestling? You know what I'm saying? Like I think it was Shadi or Addy. I can't remember who brought it up earlier, but you got some of the best wrestling early in the program to warm you up.
Yes.
It's warming you up for story later on.
They got the storylines overshadowing the wrestling, where it should be the wrestling overshadows the storyline.
Yeah, and
I would imagine that kids today think that you can't get into a wrestling match without a storyline. And I will tell you unequivocally that, for instance, let's take some prime examples. Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels. Yeah, you had the boyhood dream and everything, but really that match, that Iron Man match, was about the title. That was it. It was about the title. Bret wants to keep it. Shawn wants to win it. Let's go. I can go back and watch that match 50 times and not get sick of it. I can give you so many other examples just like that, where there was really good matches. Goldberg DDP. You know, I'm trying to think of some prime examples where it was just about the title.
What would you say about Paige and Savage in WCW? Was that storyline more storyline than...
No, it was just two guys who wanted to beat the crap out of each other.
Okay.
Yep.
It wasn't really, truly storyline over violence. It was more violence over storyline. You know, to me, violence sells. Simple. So...
But this company goes the extra mile. Oh, you burned down our parents' house when we were kids.
yeah. Or your dad is actually my dad, or, you know, Kane, Undertaker, all that shit. Which was interesting, legendary, but it also was like, you know, okay.
I'm too grown to believe that. At that point in our lives, we were damn near... We were young adults, basically. You know, teenagers, late teens, early 20s. I don't believe this shit. Get out of here with this shit, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's evolved into what it is right now with this shit. And it's worked for them. This recipe has worked for them, that they can use it. They've become the monster that they are. They've gotten to the point where they have their own network. They have their own reality shows. So now they can just feed into that. And it works for them. They're self-promotion and all that bullshit. But that's, like you said, especially for young fans, it's fucked up their minds. Some people don't know anything but this company. They think this is it, the alpha and omega when it comes to wrestling. You know what I'm saying? And that's just it. This is all they know. They think WWE is wrestling, and anything outside of it is fake or bootleg or shit like that.
Yeah.
And
well,
like I said, it serves its purpose, but it should be the bare minimum, especially when it should never take precedence over the motherfucking strap. And right now, this was a females match, and no disrespect to the ladies, but we understand what it is when it comes to women's wrestling in this company. First of all, it's a female match. Second of all,
what, you mean Tyler Breeze, Fandango, and Adam Estrogen?
This type of shit, man. You know what I'm saying? So. And when it comes to women's wrestling in this company, you know, women's wrestling already has a bad enough stigma. It gets its shine in the indie scene, whatever have you. They got some straight women's promotions out there that do their thing. But in this company, women's wrestling is a fucking afterthought. And you buried the fucking Divas Championship on the card in this fucking pay-per-view. And you got this bullshit. So that's the thing. When it comes to young fans and all that, they're creating a frame of mind. They're creating a culture that's so counterproductive to what this business is about. And this is a prime example of it.
Well, you could look at the fight game. Did Ali and Frazier need a storyline?
Nope.
Did Ali Foreman need a storyline?
No.
Did Tyson Holyfield need a storyline? You know, did Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler need a storyline? You know, no. These guys didn't need storylines. Would a Pacquiao and a Mayweather need a storyline? No. It's just, let's see who the better man is. You know, I think for those of us who are huge sports fans, we don't really need the storylines. To me, a good storyline is the icing on top of the cake. Let me give an example that I think, and we'll move on here. We're kind of, we could continue this on in the VIP video afterwards, but let me give a quick example of a storyline that I thought took away with what should have been a simple feud. You had CM Punk, self-proclaimed best in the world. You had Chris Jericho, self-proclaimed best in the world at what he does. So why couldn't it be best in the world against best in the world, where the guys come out every week on Raw trying to one-up each other in their own matches? We've seen storylines like that before, which aren't really storylines, but they kind of are. What does it turn into? Oh, he's CM drunk. You know, to me it was like, this build sucks compared to what it could be if it was best in the world against best in the world. And some people got into it, okay, oh, that's clever, he's calling him CM drunk, and that's fine, people got into it. But from my perspective, it would have been a lot better if it was just best in the world against best in the world. I think there's a lot of times where storylines take away from what could be a better thing.
Yeah, the story should be told in the ring.
Oh yeah, that's where the bulk of the storytelling should go, or a parking lot attack, right, where they get attacked backstage or whatever the case, or there's a title on the line. You don't need these huge elaborate storylines to sell a match, you know. But that's just the WWE's way of doing things. It won't change as long as Vince is the majority owner of the company. It's not going to change, so it is what it is. Let me give an example. I do NXT reviews on my site, and I don't need Sami Zayn and Adrian Neville to be fighting over the love of Renee Young for me to want to watch them wrestle. You know, put them in the ring. I watch these motherfuckers go because they're good. Period. You know, some guy, for instance, there are situations where the storyline is needed to enhance it, and that's Swagger and Rusev, in my opinion. Because I've seen Rusev wrestle longer matches than what he's done on the main roster. Not that good. He used to get killed in front of the NXT crowd. And Jack Swagger, I think that ship sailed a long time ago for a lot of us. So that storyline helped them a lot. So storylines can also help, but sometimes it gets too overly complicated. But okay, next match. Now here comes the debating. Let's see where everybody lands on this one, because I have a feeling the comment section is going to be all over the place on this. You're going to have a wide array of opinions. We'll see if the panel, the panel thinks. I'm going to try to call this down the middle as much as I can. Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, while giving my opinion, which is, obviously everyone's biased in their own opinion. But Roman Reigns, Randy Orton. For me, I kept saying this was my litmus test. How was Roman Reigns going to do in a match with Randy Orton? Because if you can't pull off an entertaining fucking match with Randy Orton, something is wrong with you. Honestly. I mean, I've seen Randy Orton pull good matches out of guys who had no business, being involved in a good match. Well, I would like to say, in my opinion, they pulled off a good match. Of course, if you look at the match, it clearly helped Roman Reigns to be in that ring with Orton, which was my argument the entire time anyway. Was being in the ring with a guy like Orton could really help him. He's a veteran. Orton's a crisp in-ring worker. Have a lot of us gotten sick of Orton over the years? Sure. But when it pertains to the guy being an athlete, who can get in that ring, put on a good match, pull off moves in a crisp manner, limit the botches, this guy gets in there and gets it done. This was, without a doubt, the best singles match of Roman Reigns' career. Now, I would have liked to have seen him use more moves. It was still the same moves that they've been having him use on Raw. I have seen him perform other moves that you haven't seen him use on the main roster. He's still not using filler moves. To me, too many punches, too many clotheslines. I would like to see some arm drags, some hip tosses, a couple suplexes in there. I think that would enhance him in the ring. It's a very simple tweak to make him more enjoyable to watch. Get him out of the John Cena cookie cutter of limiting him to just these moves. The guy needs filler moves. There's no doubt about it. With that being said, my personal favorite moment of the match. This is a replay that I could watch. And if someone wants to send me the animated GIF to my Twitter, I'll retweet it if it's good quality. But I want the slow motion replay because it looks sick in slow motion. Roman Reigns goes up for the Superman punch, right? And then he bends his body forward and feeds into an RKO. That looked sick!
That was awesome.
That was the best move of the match, was Randy Orton catching Roman Reigns with an RKO in the midst of a Superman punch. It was fucking nasty. And the way Roman Reigns fed into it was very good. The superplex was nice. I mean, that superplex looked extra nasty for some reason. The one that Orton gave Reigns. It was like Reigns rotated over a little bit late and it made it look better. The Super Samoan drop was, a different twist on one of his moves that he uses. Overall, the transitions and the counters in the match were pretty good. You could tell that Roman Reigns was stoked when the match was over, because he knew that they pulled off a match without major botches. Roman Reigns ended up going over with a spear in what was clearly head and shoulders above his other singles matches so far in his career. I do still agree with the criticism he needs to use more moves. I do still agree with the criticism he needs to get better on the mic. But in just the framework of this match, I was entertained by it. And it goes to show you a guy who I have dubbed the green factor of professional wrestling, who still works, comes off as being green. Obviously a good athlete and everything. But a guy who comes off as green as Roman Reigns. Randy Orton went in there and pulled off a good match with him. What's my opinion of Roman Reigns going forward? I don't think it's really changed that much. But at the very least, the guy went out there and proved that even with his limited moveset that he's using, that they have him using, you know, he can go out there and work a match with a guy like Orton, and it can be entertaining. So, you know, that's the difference between someone like Reigns, who they're clearly getting behind, and someone like Cena. You know, they could have all the bells and whistles, all the false finishes, all, you know, they could do counters and stuff like that, and there's still stuff that Cena does within the confines of a match that just drive me absolutely insane watching him. The way he bumps, you know, on certain moves, the way he delivers certain moves, the way he sells, all of that stuff. Just, I can't stand watching him work. But Roman Reigns, at the very least, I think this is the guy that's going to be force-fed to us. I do believe eventually, if he doesn't improve his weaknesses, most of us will get sick of him. Some people already have. I say, no, fuck that. I'm not even going on that ride again. Fuck this guy. You know, a lot of people, that's the way they feel. And I completely empathize with that. But the guy definitely bumps better than Cena, sells better than Cena, comes off as being more credible and believable than Cena, to me. So there are more positives to Roman Reigns than there are John Cena. So if he supplants Cena, I think it's an upgrade, but I still think there are better options on the roster than Roman Reigns. But this match in particular was good, my opinion. So, and then next we get to talk about the main event. Yeah. So fellas, Roman Reigns, do you think he pulled off a good match? Great match? Good match? Did he change your opinion? You know, go ahead.
Well, I think you know, Randy Orton carried most of the match.
He did.
They, you know, Roman Reigns, they really have to, as you said, open up his movesets. They have to give him more moves. That's a problem alongside, you know, his mic work, and you know, up to the point you have to work a good match with Randy Orton. If you can't, then you suck. It's simple as that. If you can't work a good match with Randy Orton, you suck. And you know, I think the match is decent. I still have to see more of him to be able to say, well, this guy actually has it in him. But at least he's a good athlete. Is the potential there? Who, you know, athletically it is, but who knows, you know, what the WWE is going to end up doing with him. You know, hopefully they don't do a John Cena by, you know, just shoving him down your throat. But I still need to see more from him to, you know, to give my full, you know, opinion of Roman Reigns.
I thought they pulled off a good match. I did, you know.
So Calvin thought it was decent. You think it was good. So you're a step above Calvin on this one.
I am, but the thing is, putting him against Orton was the best move they could have made. You know, they needed to do that. I mean, that is for sure. But I mean, I strongly feel like it was really Orton that led this thing the entire way, and he did. I mean, you could tell. You know, he was the guy controlling the tempo of the match, dictating the flow of it all. Reigns, I mean, again, I like this guy, but we need to see more from him. I mean, I see a lot of room for improvement. I did see a lot of good things tonight, but at the same time, I didn't see enough from his offensive onslaught of moves, and it almost seems like he doesn't have any. But I know he does, because I mean, he goes out there and he does the same moves. I know he can do more. You need to see it, and this was a night that he should have pulled out some moves. This is the night that he should have done, and he didn't, and it kind of disappointed me. I thought we were going to see it, and I was a little bit disappointed by the fact that we didn't get to see it. But other than that, I really felt like Orton carried this match all the way. He made this match what it was. A lot of great reversals, but I give Orton more credit than Reigns. But Reigns, again, he is young, up and coming. I'm not going to write the book on this guy just yet, but I do need to see more from him. as an overall wrestler, not just in the ring, but on the mic, but mainly in the ring. Because if it turns out that this guy can't really talk, I can live with it as long as I know as he can put on a good match. But I do see this guy somewhere in the Batista level of hype. He's kind of the next Batista, possibly more, but I see him right there as far as right now. So, but we need to see more. I kind of felt like the finish was a bit cheap, but at the end of the day, they pulled off a good match. So I got to give them credit. Credit's due. But I expected more.
I think the Batista comparison is a poor comparison, Shotty. Batista was groomed by some thoroughbreds as far as Hunter and Ric Flair. And Batista, his move set, he was allowed to do a little bit more. And the thing with Batista is his actor side of him. I think that compensated for any inadequacies he had as far as wrestling. Roman Reigns, the last thing that shines is his acting ability or him on the mic or anything he tries to convey as far as words and get across expressing himself in that manner. Bruce, I'm not sold on your boy, man.
Oh, he's not my boy.
All right, I stand corrected. It's I wanted to say Randy carried the match. Randy helped him shine. Randy helped him say, "All right, young man, this is your at SummerSlam. You're getting the second highest match on the card. Here you go, man. You know, you've been thrown in this slot real nice and early. And we've seen what this company has done to a lot of other cats in this position. But like you said, they've been protecting Reigns. They've been keeping other people held back or whatever have you. It's obvious they have him pegged. They have him pegged for something. You know what I'm saying? But I'm looking at the broader picture now, especially with the Beast Incarnate doing what he did tonight. How I didn't see enough. I don't think enough happened. He can work. He can work with someone. I'm not going to take that away from him. It's obvious they've chained him. They put him on a leash when it comes to doing certain things in the ring. I stick by the notion that they don't want him to hurt himself or take too many risks or anything have you. I think if he could, if he was allowed to, he'd go out there and try to work his ass off. But as it is, he's not going to. He's not allowed to, I think. So, fine. This was more of him being shown that he could work with a main eventer. I don't think it was so much of let's show the world Roman, at least those who understand how this goes. This isn't so much about let's show how Roman Reigns can wrestle so well. Let's see if he can work with a main eventer. Let's see if he can go out there and he can hold his own. Did he hold his own? Yes. Did he do anything in any type of capacity to make you think, yes, this guy is main event material? No. You know what I'm saying? And if I know Jay's gonna love this shit, if Lesnar is gonna hold those belts until Mania 31, which I highly, highly doubt, and then Roman Reigns be the guy to take them off of him, holy shit. I don't even think in the 4 or 5 months, whatever's left until Mania, he doesn't have enough, even starting from now, to gain enough steam and momentum and polish himself to make it legit for him to take those belts off of him, whether it be at Mania or whether it be in the near future. I don't see that yet. I see him being able to work well with others. So that, you know how they put that on your report card? All right, he got that checked off. You know what I'm saying? He got an S in that category, or 85 or whatever have you. But I don't, especially the way they book their champions, especially the way they book their faces and their favorite baby faces in this company. I don't see him being able to be the main eventer that he's the reason why you're watching the match, or he's the one that has to carry the match and make sure that the match has worked well. He even had a decent match with Alberto Del Rio, and when I say decent, I'm even using that kind of loosely, before Del Rio had to leave, and that was on SmackDown. But again, Del Rio, as much I can't stand that slide tapping motherfucker, he's adequate, you know? So that's all I see from Roman Reigns right now. He can work well with others. I don't see anything that implies he can be the guy that, all right, this main event is his and it's on him. I don't see that yet.
He's not transcendent.
No.
He doesn't have the charisma. You know, there's just too many holes in his game.
You
Like
see,
he
look
doesn't
Brock
have the
Lesnar
filler.
type thing.
He doesn't have the filler moves or the filler mannerisms. You know what I'm saying? Like something like a Stone Cold had, or a Macho Man had, or Hogan had. Just little shit you can do during the match to keep it going, to keep the energy flowing. And he's young, man. They pushing him too fast and in the wrong way, man.
You know, for me, watching this match, and what I took away from it, I think this was more of a confidence match to go in there and hang with Randy Orton, you know, look good against Orton. I think it was more for his confidence more than for showing off what he can do in the ring and showing off his moves. I think it's just like, hey, kid, you can go in here and hang with the ex-champ, you know, and for a co-main event, you can hang and sell and look good against a guy like Orton. This ain't a match about going off, showing off your moves, showing off what you can do in the ring. This is for your confidence. And I think that's why we've seen his emotion, like the emotion he had at the Ambrose where he looked like he was jacked after he won. I think that's when he realized, you know what, I just pulled off a good move with Randy, or a good match with Randy. So, yeah, you know, that gave him confidence. I think that's what we've seen at the end, you know, as he's standing on the second rope. And real quick, as far as my opinion on it, I'm still on the fence because, you know, it didn't really seem much, anything to change it. You know, just came away that it was for his confidence. It helped boost his confidence in letting him know he can go in there and look good with a guy like Orton.
But
well, he's still got a long way to go.
AD,
Right.
that could work against him too, man.
The crazy thing is he's got the physical tools necessary to be that dude, you know. But it's just, I don't know, maybe it is a confidence issue with him.
Yeah,
You know,
I think I get your point right there with the confidence can work against him because if he's overconfident or too cocky about it, he can watch more matches. You know, he could be overconfident about it.
It was a step in the right direction tonight, though.
But
was a
not
step in the
even
right.
not even that. That's why I'm saying it might work against him is because, like we said, fucking Randy Orton could go out there and work with any fucking body. So it's not even so much about it being a test about, oh, if you fuck this up. It's like it's almost impossible to fuck up a match with Randy Orton. So it's almost like, you know, you're almost exhaling like, oh God, thank God I didn't fuck up a match with Randy Orton. You know what I'm saying? That's almost, it could work that way too. So was it relief? Was it him being like, oh right, I've just put on a good match, or was it like, fuck man, I'm glad I didn't fuck this up. You know what I'm saying? So, because Bruce, you always touch on that with him, like is he not confident enough in himself and his own skills? So did this help or hinder?
I don't know. Well, you know, only time's going to tell with this guy.
It's obvious he doesn't have much time because they're throwing him to the moon, man.
Yeah, he's got, as Stone Cold would say, he's got the rocket ship strapped to his back. You know, we'll see. You know, I think there's better options in him, but that's who they're going with. So, I mean, the guy does have the marketable look. He probably sells some toys to kids. You know, he is an upgrade over Cena, my opinion. But still leaves a lot to be desired. Some major holes.
Oh, let me touch on that real quick.
The charisma's a big one, Gracie.
And this is what I want to speak on. They had the WWE 2K15 roster reveal where they showed who's going to be in the game, and they make a big event out of it. They had a panel and everything. Sheamus, even Sting was up there. Stone Cold, Hulk Hogan, Roman Reigns was on this panel, And, you know, they would go up there and they would show everyone who's in the game. They would have a render of them or whatever come up on screen. They had a little crowd in there. I had maybe 75 people. I doubt it was 100. But Roman Reigns was up there. I think he was one of the first in line on the panel. And, you know, you seen him sitting there. He had his little swag on about him or whatever have you. And, you know, everyone's making their little comments up there on the panel, whether it was them who was revealed to be on the roster, whatever have you. And he was hanging now. He was up there with some legendary motherfuckers. And, you know, like you said, the rocket is on his fucking back. That rocket is strapped to him because he's up there. He's up there with fucking Sting, Hogan, and Stone Cold, Bruce. You understand me? So they showed Randy Orton's render when, you know, they were revealing him to be in the game. And Roman Reigns sat up there and they were like, you know, they were making little jokes to him like, oh, you know, the camera panned to him and they were like, you know, you got to match with this guy coming up or whatever, you know, that face right there, whatever. He's like, yeah, I got a Superman punch for that chin, something like that. And it was all right. He was a little bit more natural about it. It wasn't forced or anything like that. You know, it was real nonchalant. But it wasn't all monotone and shit like fuckboy. It was real nonchalant, but it was almost like, you know, you could tell it wasn't forced or anything like that. So, I don't know. Maybe he felt a little bit more natural, a little bit more relaxed, or maybe he felt like, well, shit, look who the fuck I'm around. I better, you know, have my shit right. So, I just don't know, man. I don't know. Is it there? It's there. It's obvious that it's there, Bruce. It's not rising to the top.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I see with the commenters, they're always extreme on one side or the other on this issue. You know, there's no right or wrong
gray
answer.
With this motherfucker.
There's no right or, yeah, there's no gray. There's no right or wrong answer. Everyone has their opinion on him. Me, it's like, you know, I'd like to see him improve a few things, and hasn't done that yet. So that's about it. All right, now we get to the main event. Oh, one thing I forgot to bring up about that match with Reigns and Orton. Orton's power slam counter to the spear, that was pretty sick too. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah.
That was nice. The main event of the evening, Brock Lesnar against John Cena. And all these people telling me, Blitz, you're crazy. What do you mean you've got your hopes up for a Lesnar win? Come on. You know you're going to be ranting Sunday night and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, I think Lesnar gets the win. Now, according to the bet with you and Jay, Grits,
yeah,
he's got to hold the belt till WrestleMania for you to lose, right?
Yeah, he's got to. I don't know if he has to hold it to WrestleMania. If that was one of the exact stipulations, but he's saying Brock is going to drop it to Reigns at WrestleMania. I said there's no way he's holding those straps until WrestleMania. He thinks Brock is going to hold these straps until WrestleMania and then drop them to Reigns. I said no fucking way.
Now, you said he'd become a 17-time champ by then.
Yeah, no, I said Cena will be 17-time champ by then. Brock said, Jay, I called the motherfucker Brock. He don't love that. Jay says that no, Brock is holding on to them from now until Mania and then dropping them to Reigns. I say no. I say Cena gonna get it back one more again, drop it, and then get it back again. And he's gonna get the belt 2 more times. Either at Mania will be the second time, or before that. It's gonna culminate in Buckethead being 17-time world champ. Man. Watch.
Well, okay, so if Cena becomes that,
you've seen this before, Bruce. Redemption.
I have. But if that happens, then what was it? Was it Adam Estrogen for an avatar? I can't remember.
No, it's fuckboy himself.
Oh yeah. So if that happens, then Jay has to put Fuckboy Buckethead as his avatar on Twitter.
Yeah.
If Jay's right, you have to put him out. Oh, shit, man.
Yeah.
Ouch. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about this main event. So Lesnar came out looking like the ultimate badass, mean mugging, looking serious as fuck. I said to myself, there's something different with his demeanor tonight. There was just something different. Awesome entrance. And sure enough, Fuckboy Buckethead's music hits. You know, look at Lesnar's entrance, and then look at the shit factor. Okay, you've got the legit factor of professional wrestling in the ring. Mean mugging like someone just stole his lunch money. And then Fuckboy Buckethead comes out. There couldn't have been... It couldn't have been more polar opposite of each other with their ring entrances.
Hey Bruce, did you notice? I'm sure you did. The second Brock Lesnar's music cut off, the boos fucking started.
Because they knew Cena's music was going to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it too.
Well, so Cena's music hits and he comes out. He's got that ridiculous looking merch on, which if the kids like it, if people love rocking the John Cena stuff, if you're one that the hustle, loyalty, and respect character makes you feel better about yourself or whatever, great. Doesn't bother me that people like Cena. In fact, that's great. Anything people can find happiness in, it's not hurting other people, great. But this dude, this douche, because that's what he looked like. Okay, he looked like a jamoke. Came out with all that gear on, belts hanging over his neck, doing his usual spiel. And I'm saying to myself, if that isn't a prime example within the time frame of 2 minutes to 3 minutes, just watch Lesnar come out and then watch Cena come out, and that right there tells you everything you need to know with what I don't like about the guy. You know, even Hogan, when Hogan came out, he's getting ready to fight, The Rock, Stone Cold, all of these guys, they took Macho Man, they took it seriously. This guy comes out pimping his merch, talking to the fucking cameraman, runs to the ring. And there was another part that looked really ridiculous. You got Lesnar in the ring looking like he's ready to pounce. If you're next to a grizzly bear, a hungry grizzly bear that's staring you down, if you're in let's say a shark-infested waters, if you're in a snake pit, whatever the case may be, are you just going to start running back and forth? I thought that looked so stupid when he got in the ring and he just starts running the ropes. I'm like, did you not watch the monitor back there and see the demeanor that Brock Lesnar has right now? It didn't fit. John Cena's entrance didn't fit. And the beating that would transpire afterwards was actually fitting, in my opinion. Now, I know there's a lot of angry John Cena fans.
Oh.
I will say this. You guys have had 9,352 some odd victories with this guy in pay-per-views.
10 years.
Yeah. I mean, those of us, you look at us and you go, all those guys do is bitch because we're not getting what we want. You are. So for once, we get what we want, and it's, fuck this, whatever, done watching. It's like, we've been putting up with not getting what we want for how long, and we finally get what we want. I had these Cena fans coming at me on Twitter, which I don't care, I ignore it. Whatever. People are going to say what they're going to say. And I was sitting there saying to myself, come on, man, you guys have all of those Cena matches where he overcame the odds. Not a big deal. Not a big deal at the end of the day. So anyways, the match started with Cena trying to attack the Beast, which looked so fucking ridiculous. John Cena swooping in. I don't know if you'd consider it a double leg takedown attempt, throwing those terrible looking kayfabe punches. My opinion, it looked ridiculous. 30 seconds into the match, Lesnar completely no-sells Cena's offense, picks the motherfucker up and F5s him. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? Of course Cena kicked out, but it kind of set the tone that Lesnar is going to kick your fucking ass, dude. You know, I loved the start to the match. Yeah, normally I wouldn't be too crazy about kicking out of a finisher that early, but when they zoomed in on Lesnar's face, the look on his face said, "This dude can't do shit to me." You know what I'm saying?
Was he smiling after he kicked out? Was it Lesnar smiling after Cena kicked out? Just like
yes, and he's beating on Cena, and he literally bends over and looks down at Cena. This dude doesn't know if the camera mics are going to pick this up or not. And Lesnar just arbitrarily yells, "I could kill you," he says. I'm like, shit just got real, you know? So Lesnar hit Cena with a belly-to-back suplex, threw him damn near halfway across the fucking ring. He said, "Oh, you want to do this the hard way, huh?" I was like, oh, shit. Lesnar hit him with another belly-to-back. Cena took it on his upper back, not by choice, because Lesnar just threw him. Lesnar was throwing Cena around like a rag doll in that ring. It was insane.
I'm talking about cat and mouse.
No. I mean, dude. This is like father versus son. You know? My
God. This is more like a lion and a antelope or some shit, you know?
Mm-hmm. Every time Cena mounted offense, Lesnar would just throw these nasty-looking knees into his gut and start throwing him again. I'm sitting there going to myself, oh my gosh, this is starting to get me worried, because this is what happens when Cena wins, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere he hits his ridiculous-looking standing fireman's carry and just wins. So sure enough, Lesnar's teasing another F5. Cena reverses it into the AA, and I'm like, oh no, here we go. Because I was thinking at the beginning of the match, Lesnar's going to dominate, and then Cena starts making his comebacks and whatever. So Lesnar kicks out of the AA. He's laying on the canvas, right? And he sits up like The Undertaker and looks over at Cena and just like, I'm like, wow, this is completely different.
Lesnar looked like he looked like when you're wrestling with a kid, do a move to him, like, do it again, you know.
He looked like
it hurt.
He looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator 2 in this movie. I mean, in this match, it was unbelievable. So after this spot, Lesnar starts taunting Cena again and proceeds to deliver 4 continuous suplexes without letting go. And I mean, he was laying him in. I think it was on the second one. He got John Cena pretty good. Lesnar's just like yelling at the ref, ask him! And then he bends over Cena and he goes, die! I'm like, dude is in beast mode, man. Fucking beast mode.
This was a lot of shit from back in the early 2000s too. And that Extreme Rules shit, that match they had in 2012. This was a lot of pent up frustration coming out, man. He legit hates that motherfucker. You can't tell me otherwise. Oh yeah.
I don't think he likes him, no. So Lesnar hits 3 more of those continuous suplexes. He's standing over Cena again. And I mean, folks, I don't know exactly how many minutes had transpired because I was enjoying the match so much, I lost track of time. Okay? I'm just sitting there. I was popping for the match. And Cena puts the ridiculous-looking STF on Lesnar. Credit to Cena, even though it wasn't a crossface, it was more like a rear naked choke position. He gives it the stink face, you know, but he's got the ridiculous look on his face. And Lesnar just powers out of the STF, stands up, picks Cena up, hits him with another F5, And in all honesty, I thought for sure Cena was kicking out.
I did too.
I said, okay, Cena's going to kick out here, and then Lesnar's going to continue to beat the shit out of him, and then eventually hits him with a succession of 3 F5s and pins him or something. And folks, this was a long, drawn-out beating. And I will give Cena 100% credit for taking all those suplexes. Cena got his ass handed to him in that ring. Handed to him. Was he selling after the match? Was he legit hurt? Only Cena knows, and the doctors, But this dude took a tremendous, legit beating in that ring tonight. And storyline-wise, it was fun to watch. Not because Cena got hurt, potentially, but just because to see Cena get absolutely decimated. So like I said, Lesnar powers out of the STF, hits the F5, and the ref counts to 3? What? I was sitting there going, oh my gosh, what just happened? No, I'm not kidding. See my hair standing up? I've got chills right now. It was that much fun for me to watch. I've got chills. I said, from head to toe, I got chills right now. To see, after this many years of the same old shit, to see a guy that I enjoy watching, that I have a ton of respect for, as a legit factor of professional wrestling. Some of you hate him, whatever. But we all have our favorites. He's one of my favorite wrestlers. To see Brock Lesnar go in there and beat the ever-loving shit out of Cena and get the win clean as fuck. It was clean, folks. There were no run-ins. Paul Heyman didn't interfere. John Cena didn't have a pre-existing injury or a doctor's note or something. This was clean. This was an ass whooping. When we are done with this review, we're going to do a VIP video for the website, Roundtable. After I'm done with that video, I'm going back and watching the match again before I go to sleep. I'm not kidding. I am not kidding you. I am. I cannot wait to watch it again. Oh, it was the biggest sigh of relief for me as a wrestling fan. For a guy that I labeled the legit factor of professional wrestling to just blow the shit factor of professional wrestling out of the ring was awesome. I mean, honestly, I'm waiting for the part where I wake up. It's Sunday morning, and I realize I've still got to cover SummerSlam tonight, and it was all just a dream. I'm waiting. There's no way that happened, So kudos to the WWE. Kudos to Cena for taking the beating he did. That doesn't erase, all the other stuff.
It doesn't erase 9 years or 10 years.
Dude, Lesnar's a fucking savage, bro. But, Brock Lesnar busted his ass the entire match. It was awesome. Michael Cole said after the match that Brock Lesnar delivered 16 suplexes. I was not counting. I just knew it was awesome. It was really cool. It actually seemed like more than 16. It did.
But it didn't matter. I was enjoying every second of it.
Oh, me too. It was an awesome beatdown. It was like my wildest dreams come true. I said in the preview I want to see Lesnar destroy Cena. Got to see it. Got to see it. I mean, there was good wrestling on this pay-per-view. Couple things I didn't like in it, but whatever. You may never see, you probably won't ever see John Cena get destroyed like that again. So all in all, the SummerSlam, I'm going 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. In my book, awesome pay-per-view. Awesome show. Awesome way to finish the show. Brock Lesnar's the man. Fuck John Cena. All right, guys, 8 out of 10 is my rating. Go ahead, guys, and plug your stuff.
It almost feels like the only way they can capitalize is if John Cena comes out tomorrow and says, "Oh, guys, I think I've had enough, and I'm gonna retire." That might be the only way they could capitalize this and make it any better. What a beatdown. I mean, it was complete domination. I mean, I was expecting Cena to do his usual comeback, defy the odds crap. But he comes out, he's like, I'm John Cena, and Lesnar said, get the fuck out of here. Fantastic. I was just, I mean, maybe you can't hear it from my voice because I'm a boring guy, but goddamn it, I was just enjoying the whole thing, man. I mean, I had a few friends over, and all of us, I'm telling you, when he put him in the submission, we're like, yup, that's it, it's over. And then he kicked out, I mean, he powered out of it and gave him the F5. Just, man, it was a great moment. And we don't get that many great moments in WWE, but I have to say, that's one of the greatest moments in WWE in the past few years. That is that's right there. I think, with another one when The Rock won at WrestleMania 28. But this one it's fantastic, man. I'm just so excited. It's the best possible way to book the match, and it was just the best scenario for him to not only win but to completely beat his ass. I mean, it was great. It was great. I love the entire thing. For the first time in a while, I'm really looking forward to see what's going to happen on Raw. It's almost like WrestleMania or something happened. They delivered. I have to give the WWE credit for delivering a good show overall. Was it a great show? I wouldn't say so. But I would say it's a good, solid show. It had some good wrestling. It had its ups and downs, but the ending really did it for me. And I agree with the 8 out of 10. I'm right there with you. 8 out of 10. The ending of the match, I mean, the ending of the last match of the main event really did it for me. I was very happy, very satisfied, and that was a worthy pay-per-view, worthy of my money and my time, which is the most important thing. So very happy, and I enjoyed the entire thing. 8 out of 10 for me. My Twitter is @ShadyHere, @ShadyHere. That's what I gotta say.
Oh man, this is my favorite moment since I've been watching WWE, and that goes back to 01, man. Man, I want to give this show a fucking 10 out of 10 just because Cena put Lesnar over clean, just for that fact. I don't have really nothing to say. Just about damn time that fuckboy puts somebody over clean. I could make a comment right now, but I'm not going to because I don't want to ruin the mood. So I'm going to give it 10 out of 10 just because Lesnar goes over clean. You can find me on Twitter @EddieCat87. Look me up on YouTube @EddieCat87.
All right. Y'all know I'm one of the old school heads up here, man. And I've seen a lot of wrestling. I was around for the first SummerSlam. I was around for the first WrestleMania, man. Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, all the big four, I was around for their inceptions. Other than that, Starcades, all the Halloween Havocs, I've seen so many pay-per-views over the years. You name the stars who were involved. I've watched them, man. I've seen them. I've seen so many main events at pay-per-views. I've seen so many championship matches, whether it was on a regular weekly show or at a pay-per-view or whatever have you. So many. Never. And Bruce, you can correct me on this, man. And I hope you can, because I'm hoping I'm wrong. I've never seen a championship match at a pay-per-view main event booked this way, where it was an absolute fucking rape. From pillar to post, the defending champ got fucking raped. I've never seen a championship match like this. It was a fucking squash match. This guy is the fucking 15-time defending world champ. Kayfabe, all that bullshit. Yeah, that's understood. But it's still, I'm not going to say legitimacy as far as him being a legit wrestler, but that's supposed to give someone weight going into a match like this. You're the defending champ, you the 15-time champ, la 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 la, and you get motherfucking anally raped.
Cena looked weak.
I've never seen, like, Bruce, I've never, even when fucking Hogan had his ribs taped up, man, going against Bundy and shit, like, I've never seen the defending champ get abused like this, man. You understand where I'm coming from? Like, whoever watched this, you witnessed something that this industry has never seen tonight, man. WWE gave you something that they have not given people in years, which is something that's unprecedented in this business, something that's never happened before. For that alone, I almost want to go with Adam here. Like, I almost want to give it a 10 out of 10 because it's almost like a fucking UFO sighting, man.
Yeah.
Like you saw Bigfoot in your backyard, man, drinking a beer or something. You know, I'm more along the lines of 8, but I you know, if I tripped and hit my head and said 10 out of 10, you can quote me on that, because you've seen something that is almost like a fucking unicorn. You found a unicorn or some shit like that. The Davy Jones locker. You know what I'm saying? I can't recall it, Bruce. I've been sitting here racking my brain like, when was the last time I seen some shit like
It
that?
was so violent, the beating.
Oh, man.
And it was so... It came off in such a believable fashion that people watching that show, or no one in their right mind would want to get in the ring with that guy.
Do you understand?
When's the last time the WWE's had a champion that you could say that about?
Come on, man. When was the last time a defending champ got the ass whooped like that and dropped the straps in that way, utterly and completely clean, Bruce? I never. Think about
Never. No, that was the worst. That was the most lopsided beating in a championship pay-per-view match that I can think of. You're right.
That's a bogey.
Yeah.
You know, so that's my thoughts on it. I mean, when it comes to delivering what the people wanted to see,
he made him his bitch in the match, dude. That's what he did.
And he was calling this shit out, like you said. He was calling this shit out, man. Like, we all lived vicariously through Brock tonight, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All us motherfuckers, man. And that's why it's almost like you said, motherfuckers who get up here and love talking about how much they would want to see Cena get his ass beat. We're almost speechless because it was delivered perfectly in a way that no one expected, in a way that no one could have imagined, man.
It was exciting.
It almost leaves someone speechless, man. Like, get the fuck out. Not even CM Punk got his ass whooped like this by Brock, man. You understand where I'm coming from? Like, when Brock first came in the company, he took a couple L's. Like, especially in hindsight now, I don't understand what the fuck that program with Triple H was all about. That had to be Nipple H's ego. You know what I'm saying? Or it must have been a stipulation. All right, we're going to come in here. We're going to let you wreck shop. But you got to drop a couple times, you know, to me. You got to let Cena get one off you. You know what I'm saying? It had to be something in the contract negotiations where early on he took those L's or whatever. Because for it to culminate in this, Bruce, like I said, not even CM Punk. CM Punk got his ass whooped, too, in last year's SummerSlam. Fucking Lesnar ran through CM Punk. But CM Punk, you know, didn't get pussified like this. This was some shit, Bruce. So, like I said, I'm between an 8 and a 10 out of 10 on this one, man. Fuck it.
I think this is as close as we're going to see. Cena, you know, we always can say, compare, like, I'll put Cena in the octagon against this person. This is as close as we're going to get to that.
Rest in peace.
I would go. I'm gonna go with 8.5. Just like y'all said, you don't see it often when Cena gets his ass whipped, and and puts the other guy over clean. It hardly ever happens, and I doubt it. It will happen in the exact same fashion ever again. So I mean, just watching that, the final match, I might end up going back and watching it as well. I mean, just complete domination, man. So I'm gonna go with 8.5. There's a few other matches I like, but nothing can compare to the final match. Nothing. I mean, hell, they could have just spent the whole time for Brock whooping Cena's ass the entire pay-per-view. There you go.
Hell yeah.
Sounds good to me.
I'm gonna give it 8.5, and my Twitter is at Calvin Philpott, and that's with 2 T's, and my YouTube is at Carolina Calvin.
Yeah, you just do a search for Carolina Calvin and you'll find him. So that's gonna wrap it up, man. These are so much more fun to do, where we can come on here and celebrate and have fun, not be all gassed up, you know. Even though they'll find a way to get us gassed up again soon enough. They're pretty good at that, you know. But what a refreshing show. I just had this gut feeling. Adam, you saw, even on the website, because we put the preview for SummerSlam on the website first. That's the way I do it now. And then I post it up as like a pre-show on the YouTube channel for you guys. But you saw on the website, Adam, there was even like apprehension at my towards my. I was all optimistic for this pay-per-view, and I said, I have a feeling this is going to be the best pay-per-view of the year, you know. And I'll take this over Daniel Bryan winning even. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Watching Brock Lesnar do that was one of those things that I'll watch 10 years from now and still remember. Because this, to me, that main event was transcendent tonight.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
This was history.
I popped just like I did for when Lesnar beat The Undertaker at Mania.
Well, when Lesnar beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania, I wouldn't say it popped. I was happy for him. I thought it was the right thing to do. You know, but the last time I popped this much was 28. Mm-hmm. Mania 28 was the last time I popped this much for a match. It was like... Because that's the one thing about Cena. There's so many years of frustration with the guy that when you get a situation like this, or The Rock at Mania 28, it's just such a sigh of relief as a wrestling fan. So you're looking at a happy wrestling fan tonight. We'll have to see what happens on Raw tomorrow. We'll be back to do a Raw review tomorrow. For those of you who are members of BlitzSportsNetwork.com, getting ready to film a roundtable that I'll post overnight on there. So if you want to hear more, what are we going to talk about on the VIP SummerSlam overtime video? Where the WWE goes from here. One thing that I want to talk about with the boys on there is how I think Brock Lesnar being a part-time wrestler as champion can really work. I'm going to try to sell the boys on the panel on my idea, and I think it's where they're going to go, actually. And then I'll look to see if there's any news and rumors coming out of the pay-per-view to talk about. So head over to BlitzSportsNetwork.com and join so you guys can get access to that. There's over 500 VIP videos on there already. If you haven't been on there, you've got some catching up to do. Do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. Thank you if you already have. Hit the like button under the video below. Always appreciate when you guys do that. And visit my channel for my other videos on the NFL, NBA. NFL talks about to heat up on this channel soon. NBA, which is in the near future as well. MMA, boxing, and pro wrestling. With that being said, thank you to all of you who tuned in to watch this video. We appreciate your time, and we'll talk to you guys again after Raw. So we are out. Peace.